Yeah, this whole thing is just about, like Breonna. What happened to Breonna Taylor was terrible. She shouldn't have died. But essentially, getting another perspective from the police officer's side of like what actually happened and who her boyfriend was as a person. Like, and he was, remember on TV, he was supposed to be like this innocent. They killed my girlfriend. Remember? So for him to actually be like the scumbag drug dealer who's robbed people, who's shot at people, who's had run-in with the police officers like numerous times in the past, had current like pending cases and all kind of stuff like that. It's like he wasn't a good guy.
So
yeah, I mean,
the story. My understanding of the story is she used to have a boyfriend that was a drug dealer, broke up with him, was at a new boyfriend's place, and the cops were doing an investigation. They had a no-knock warrant. They came in, and because it was a no-knock warrant, they didn't announce themselves, and
they killed her in her sleep.
Killed her in her sleep, and the boyfriend thought he was getting robbed, so he went for his gun, and then a shootout happened, and then they ended up killing her.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Really?
100%.
Because I thought that was a true story, and there was a lie, and then people were just misconstruing.
No, I mean, okay. So disclaimer, like this is just the word of
the cops that were
the cops that were involved. And again, there's body cam footage.
Oh, really?
Of it. So it's like one of those things that I don't know if the city like has come out and specifically released all the angles and everything. Because I mean, they have I know there was body cam footage because there was body cam footage after the incident. So it's like you're telling me that there's body cam footage after the incident, but there's not body cam footage during the incident. Kind of sus.
That's really sus.
But from Timcast, he was the one who basically interviewed one of the officers who got shot during that no-knock warrant. And just to sum up the entire video, I mean, he was literally like, yeah, it was a no-knock warrant, but it no longer fit that criteria, and we didn't serve it as a no-knock warrant, and we knocked, right? And he literally said that essentially what happened is they had been like watching this guy for years. He had like plenty of like cases pending, felony cases as well. He had done stuff in the past. They after the fact, they had downloaded his phone, and he was talking about like potentially robbing people, selling drugs to people. They had all his conversations. This is her boyfriend, right? Breonna Taylor's boyfriend.
Current one?
Her current boyfriend that she was in the house with. So he was like a drug dealer. Wasn't a good guy. Had tons of run-ins with the police. Like that's why the police were there in the first place, right? And so they didn't serve it as a no-knock warrant. And again, like if you read his statement, it matches exactly what he said in the podcast. And they were knocking, and they tried to just knock it first, and then they started saying they knocked on the door, police search warrant, to the point where like neighbors were coming outside and arguing with the police officers. So it wasn't served as a no-knock warrant, right? And so essentially what he said is, they go in, like they break down the door, they go in, police search warrant, and they see two people in the hallway, and the boyfriend started firing at him first, and so the guy who was doing the interview, he was the first one shot, and they all basically fired a few shots at him and whatever, and he, from his perspective, he had to hobble outside and like get a tourniquet on his leg, so he wasn't in there for like the majority of the time. But I'm just like shocked that like just from this one perspective, because again, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, yeah, he could be lying, but again, if he was lying, he would have been charged. You know what I mean?
That, and then I want to see the body cam footage. I'm not gonna flat out 100% believe him, but that sounds really plausible.
Yeah, I mean, again, we'll put the link down to Timcast's podcast, so you can take a look at it yourself. But essentially, what I gathered from it was that like they were just looking for a reason to blast this for the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Because he said that it basically died. It was around COVID when it happened, and nobody really cared. And then it died down. And then there was a different shooting. I think it was Ahmaud Arbery. Mm-hmm. And then when the same lawyer who was on Ahmaud Arbery's case was like, "Oh, we're gonna go help Breonna Taylor's case," and then he just said everybody lied. Like everybody lied about the entire situation.
Okay, so whatever news or look.
No, he said it was the city council because he said that literally because he was like, "Oh, I know one of the city council members because he was a former police officer, right?" So he was like, I was texting him and saying like, "Hey, all the stuff they're saying is a lie. Here's the truth," and saying like, and then the dude was like, "Yeah, we'll do a press conference," and they never did it, right? And then he was like, they basically were saying all these lies, like, you know, she was sleeping and, you know, they just shot through the walls and killed her and everything, and that they were at the wrong apartment and everything. And he was like, they wouldn't even release the search warrant that showed that we were at the right address, right? So there was like all these things where, like, just listening to it, I was like, yeah, that's a lot of, like, you know, conflict right there.
Conflicting stories.
Yeah, where I'm just like, okay, am I gonna believe, you know, a lawyer who's, you know, doing this for profit and, you know, he's trying to make money off of suing these cities and stuff like this for the families, or am I gonna believe like the police officers who were there in the situation that gave their statements that were never charged for the shooting? And again, like, not every single piece of like body camera footage was, you know,
It's been
released, but essentially what I gathered from it is just like people lie, like the media and everybody was just lying, like,
Damn,
completely.
I think we talked about it. We straight up got that story wrong when we talked about Breonna Taylor's
Well,
mother
we
and stuff.
talked about Black Lives Matter and the fraud charges,
Right.
So we got that right in the sense of like they were being investigated. Breonna Taylor's mother was calling them out for, you know, they're like, you raised all this money for my daughter, we never seen a penny, you don't even know who I am. That's what like the Breonna Taylor's family said about BLM. But from even from my recollection of everything, I was always like, man, I guess we got to like ban no-knock warrants because that's pretty terrible that, you know,
I
something
mean,
like
I
that
don't like
even
them in
happened.
general.
I understand them.
Yeah, I understand them, but I something about them I just don't like.
The thing that I look at it is it's not like they're going after just innocent people though. So for me, it's that thing of like, again, with Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, probably like a bag, like 100% a bag, in my opinion, right? The fact that he, you know, was talking about robbing people for like $20,000+. He's talking about like selling pills to all these people, where he was like, all the shit on his phone was incriminating, right? And he has plenty of felony cases that are currently against him, right? Like, this man is probably going to go to jail for a very long time, right? So it's like, yes, it sucks that Breonna Taylor was killed, an innocent woman was killed, right? But at the end of the day, she was dating like a scumbag, like a literal, the people that you do not want on the streets, the people that you legitimately like don't want your kids, family, anybody to be around, right? So it's that thing of like, he shot first, and the officer said the same thing. He's like, at what point did you think that we were intruders? Because he's like, why would you have your girlfriend get up with you if you thought we were intruders? Like, you know, why wasn't she calling the police if we were intruders? Why, you know, like, that's what I'm saying.
Those are good points.
And again, they were saying police search warrant, police search warrant, police search warrant the entire time. So it's just that thing for me. It's like, I don't know, dude. It's just, it's.
I want to see the body cam footage for sure.
Yeah, like it sucks that she died, and like, you know, it's good that, you know, the city paid out her family, because, you know, it was a wrongful death. But without a doubt, like, she was dating a scumbag.
I mean, the dude was fucking talking about. I'm not gonna straight up be like, wow, he should have died, but like, the dude was talking about robbing people.
If you could trade lives, I would say him over her.
Okay.
Innocent woman versus, you know, a scumbag of the earth. I mean, come on, it's pretty simple. But
I want to see, personally, for me, we have two sides of the story. I want to see the fucking body cam footage. All of it needs to be released of that night. Also, to those of you at home who are watching this, we're going to try to find as much stuff as possible and put it in this video and then put it in the description for you. And whoever was talking about that and is saying this is the true story, and if you live in what city was she in? I can't remember.
I don't remember the city off the top of my head.
If you live in the city of Breonna Taylor and you really need to go find out what's real and what's not real, is my recommendation. No, that's not my recommendation. That's what I would do. Because if your city councilors are lying to you and police chiefs and police officers are lying to you about this, that means there's for sure going to be a bigger. They have no problem.
But that's what I'm saying. There's an agenda that was being pushed. So it's that thing of like, who do you believe in this situation? And again, this is just more of like trying to find out the facts of the situation, not really just like trying to discredit what happened to Breonna Taylor.
No, in both instances, she's the true victim.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Just comment down below what you guys think about, like, you know, this whole situation. If you guys haven't watched the other side, other perspective, we'll have it down in the description below.
Or check out this video where we talk about how Breonna Taylor's mom straight up called BLM frauds, and now we're finding out a lot of that shit is true. Or you can check out any of those videos. We'll see you guys next time.